Mondays through Fridays, 3:30 to 4:30 p.m. in the newsroom. You can't afford to miss it.
Yes, welcome to In the Newsroom. That is the name of the program where we dissect very dispassionately matters trending in the polity. Babatunde Bolatito is my name. I have three gentlemen of the press here who are already seated in the newsroom to really take us through the technical nitty-gritty of all that we have lined up for discussion this afternoon. The first topic, 2023 presidency, APC, PDP search for running mate tickets. 2, electoral materials, INEC solicits Nigeria Air Force support for airlifts. And 3, attackers of St. Francis Catholic Church or arrested is a question that we will find answers to in today's edition of Indian Issue. My guests on the programs are already seated here. Muideen Adeleke is to my immediate right. You're welcome, Muideen.
Thank you for having me. I say good afternoon to viewers. Welcome to this program.
And Adeboye Pukola is also here. Adeboye, you're welcome to the program.
To God be the glory that we are back into the newsroom for another edition of this program.
Latif Agbola is also present. Latif.
It's my pleasure always being here today. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. Yes, straight to the point. Let's go to straight to the first topic. 2023 presidency, APC PDP search for running mate tickets. The Independent National Electoral Commission has come out to say there is a deadline for submission of names of presidential candidates and their running mates. And this has driven the political parties to go all out in search of running mates, meaning that presidential candidates themselves may not have much say in picking who deputizes them. Muideen, political parties seem to be in a hurry because of the deadline. Be that as it may, how important is it?
I'd like to go straight to your question. How important is the running mate? We all know that the running mate will eventually become the vice president when the standard bearer of a political party wins the election, the general election coming up in February next year. And that general election will see to the election of not only the president, but members of the National Assembly. And even some states also will be having their governorship among other elections, aside some like Osun, like Ekiti, that who have theirs in quick succession, Ekiti by the 18th and Osun, 18th of this month, and Osun next month, July 16th. So the running mate is not a spare tire. And the importance of the running mate, the significance of having a running mate, a reputable one that has electoral value, cannot be overemphasized. You recall that Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu emerged as the standard bearer of the All Progressives Congress, APC, the ruling party in Nigeria today, in an election that threw up much intrigues, permutations, and calculations. So many people probably did not expect, but because of his, what will I say, his painstaking efforts all this while. He had been eyeing the the ticket all this while, and thank God he has sought he has gotten the ticket. But he did not get the ticket on a platter of gold, even though he had an overwhelming lead, overwhelming votes.
Yeah.
1,270 something, or 71 or so. And if you come to think of it, he's from the southwest here. And every other region, every other geopolitical zone qualifies, or will I say qualified to be so considered by the APC. But at the end of the day, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu became the standard bearer. But definitely the running mates of the APC must come from the north. Yes, because of the gentleman agreement that power must rotate. Even though the zoning formula is not in the constitution of APC, even though it is in that of PDP, though it was jettisoned. So what I want to say is that, you see, in considering who will be the running mate of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, a lot of factors will come to play. The governors have a crucial role to play, and eventually they might be the determining factors as far as who will run with Bola Ahmed Tinubu on a joint ticket as the.
It's not Bola Ahmed Tinubu alone. That is all of them. All.
No, well, I'm just talking about that. In the case of Atiku, we all know Atiku is a northerner from the northeast. No, now definitely a southerner must be his running mate. Where he will pick his running mate will also be determined by so many factors. And those factors, he might decide to come to the southwest. He might decide to go to southeast, where there have been more agitation for presidency in the recent past. So we look at things, a lot of permutations, and there will be give and take at the end of the day on either of the two major frontline political parties that we have, APC and PDP, at the end of the day. But in that of the APC, the factor of the governors who really can't, because they did a lot, especially the northern governors forum as far as APC is concerned. They did a lot. That forum did a lot. The governors did a lot, and this time around they might want to probably push forward one of their own.
Apopola.
Yes.
The Nigerian Constitution, as it is, from what is in the Constitution, people came to conclude that running mates or deputies are spare tires. Now, why the seriousness now? Why has it assumed a serious dimension now for parties to really struggle hard to get a running mate for their presidential candidate?
You see, when you take a look at the Constitution, there is nowhere it is written that deputy or vice president is a spare tire.
It is not written.
But what is in the Constitution and the Electoral Act is this, that a person cannot run for presidential race alone. A candidate of a party must have, a running mate, that is, to have a vice, somebody who will be
Deputy.
Is a lieutenant,
Vice presidential candidate.
It is mandatory, constitutionally and statutorily. What I mean is this: it is one of the provisions that anybody running for the office of the president or governor must have. And we have that one, that one contained, expressly. I mean, it was expressly stated in the Constitution, meaning that the election of anybody into the office of the president, now, the validity of that election will be determined by whether that person meets, it is one of the constitutional requirements that we that will see to the validity of whosoever that is elected into the presidency. So without a running mate, without a deputy, that election will not be valid. Constitutionally and statutorily, that is, going by the Electoral Act and going by the provisions of the Constitution, 1999 Constitution, which is the operative organic law in Nigeria today. Yes.
Thank you very much. Lateef Angola, what are the qualities of a good running mate? What qualities are there for consideration if a running mate is to be chosen?
Well, the fact of the matter is this. When we are talking about qualities, are we talking about qualities in the eyes of politicians or the qualities in the eyes of the masses? To an average politician, they won't want to like someone who understands politics to be their running mate, whether you take it or you leave it. Because if you look at what happened between 1999 and 2007, between Chief Obasanjo and this same Atiku Abubakar, because Atiku Abubakar is a politician who understands the nitty-gritty of politics. They had issue. In fact, it was reported that Chief Obasanjo had to prostrate for Atiku Abubakar before he could be given second term a ticket. And that has been a kind of lesson for other governorship candidates, presidential candidates since then. So they won't want to have a kind of a running mate that would give them problem while in power. And that is that in the eyes of politicians. But in the eyes of the masses, in the eyes of Nigerians, what matters is that whether politically sagacious or not, someone who understands how to fix Nigeria, because Nigeria is in a mess. We may not like the word. We are in a mess when it comes to security problem, when it comes to economic problem, and the rest. So we need some people, the elders, who can come together to manage human and material resources so as to move Nigeria forward. And let me add this one. Asiwaju Bola Tinubu must be very careful why picking his running mate, because he fought a good fight to get the ticket, and all the factors that the intrigues, everything that at the end of the day favored him to become the president and the presidential candidate are still there till today. The northern agenda, the so-called cabal, and other factors, even the money could not be left out. Because one thing is that if today he believes that he has got the ticket and he has the independence of taking his running mate, those who work for him to get the ticket can work against him in the election per se. That's my advice. And for Atiku Abubakar, Abubakar is a schemer when it comes to Nigerian politics. If you doubt Atiku is just somebody, you are deceiving yourself. And one thing about him too is this. Let's look in the on the side of Wike, the governor of Rivers State. Wike is a co-contestant in the PDP primary.
Yeah.
Now, Wike could also be a good running mate to win election, but he may not be a good running mate to politicians because he is another schemer who can never give a damn. Now, if Atiku look in the side of the southeast, don't forget that their own son Obi is also a flag bearer of a political party. Now, don't forget the problem IPOB-ESN is giving that particular region. My advice, if I am to give Atiku advice, he should look in the direction of the southwest, so as to someone that is very strong here, so as to try to get some of our votes here. Or if he cannot do that, he should go for Wike. But if he looks in the direction of southeast, he may lose more vote than expected. That's just my submission in that regard.
Lateef has come up with a platform for all other questions that we arise on this program. Yes, in PDP, what we read is that there are two contestants, Governor Yesom Wike and Governor Ifeanyi Okowa of Delta State. Those are the two. And now that Latif has advised, maybe there are schools of thought that will reason along that line too. That if the Southeast may not be feasible, or the South-South, it should look in the direction of the Southwest. If it comes to the Southwest, how will Atiku pick? We were still coming to that of Asiwaju Bola Tinubu.
Coming to the Southwest, I don't know who has that political clout to be so considered for the position of vice president by the PDP now that can eclipse Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. I'm not saying that it's inimitable. But what I'm saying is that everything is based on calculation. Some people are good in engaging in permutations. Or in most cases, most permutations fails. They fail when it matters, especially when we get to the field as far as electoral value is concerned. Currently, aside the fact that BAT, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, has that electoral value across the two divides. In the Southwest here, I've been ruminating. If he chooses to come to the Southwest for his running mate, I can't pin it down on anyone for now. But that does not mean it cannot look the side of the Southwest here to pick his running mate. But his sure bet can always be in the Southeast. Because in the South...
Or the South-South.
Yeah, in the South. But...
You mean Ahmed Tinubu?
No, Atiku. We are talking about Atiku now.
Okay.
It's sure bet because those in the Southeast, I told you earlier on that, you know, Obonoya, Onu and the rest, they were talking, even those who did not even withdraw for Bola Ahmed Tinubu. What they were saying consistently was that Southwest had its shot at presidency through Obasanjo, and that is only the Northeast and Southeast
that are yet to.
So definitely, I don't know whether Atiku Abubakar will consider this factor in choosing who
and
is
it's from Northeast.
Yes, it's from Northeast. So he might want. I mean, some people might want the equation balanced. That if the next president, all things being equal, comes from the Northeast geopolitical zone. So the balancing the equation will probably make him to look the way of the Southeast. But in the Southwest here, I don't know. I might not be good in political calculation and what have you. But all I know is that you see, every standard bearer will not only, just as Latif said the other time, will be considerate of the pedigree and what have you. Some people have ambitions too. A lot of people have ambition, and whoever has the ambition, as Atiku was known to have when he was deputizing Chief Olusegun Obasanjo, and that was the what will I say, the reason behind the intractable crisis between the two gladiators. But at the end of the day, that became the albatross of Atiku, even though he wanted to succeed his boss. But let me just tell you something, that some people might not even have, might not be seen to have that ambition. When our governor, the incumbent governor in Osun, Nobody will know whether he had any ambition then or not. But God threw him up and he became a governor. Some people might not have ambition, have an issue. But along the line,
something else, situation will throw on them.
The current vice president
Might
not have the ambition of becoming the president. But all along, some might play the card. They might bring the card before him that you see you have the chance of becoming the president of Nigeria. Play your own card. This is your time. But it's always dangerous. One must listen to one's inner self.
And they can't fail it. Yes, Popola, before we go to the next topic, very quickly, who do you recommend, or which geopolitical zone do you recommend for Asiwaju Tinubu? Which one do you recommend for Atiku Abubakar?
If I were Chief Senator
Bola Tinubu,
I will look for my vice president, for my vice at the central zone of Nigeria. That is the middle belt, the middle belt zone, because that is the area now that seems to be feasible as far as the calculation for the vice president is concerned. Ask me why.
Why?
When you look at the central zone, you know, ethnographically, Nigeria used to be the forest zone, the middle belt, and the savannah region. Now, when you look at the forest comprises of south-south, southwest, southeast. Now, the middle belt used to be Zamfara, Plateau, Benue,
Zamfara is part of the northwest.
Now,
yes.
But I'm talking of what obtained in the past.
Niger State.
Zamfara was never part of the middle belt.
Middle belt.
Yes. Zamfara is part of Sokoto State in the.
Excuse me. Now, what I'm saying is this: I'm talking of what it used to be in the past.
Even at then. Even at then.
Well,
I never seen no Zamfara.
Now, Kwara. You know, those are the Kogi. Those are the central, and the ethnographers have made us to believe that those are the densely populated area after the forest zone of the country, because people move down from the north to the south in search of what? In search of fertile soil. I mean, fertile land.
You are talking about cattle rearers.
I'm coming now. So that is, and we have more than 1,000 ethnic, dialects within that zone. To let you know how populous, yeah, the area is. So if a person could be chosen around that area, Abubakar, the northwest, the northwest will be the battleground for whosoever. Now, let's come, and the vice president being chosen from the central zone will muster support of the people there, meaning that area alone, the focus of the people there will be to support their own. Because nobody has never recognized, aside from General Dawan, who came from that place as the head of state. No other person has ever clinched the position of head of state or political head. Now come to Atiku.
And Gowon, don't forget, Gowon spent 9 years in power.
Yes.
Out of our about 60 something years.
Yes. Now, when we are talking of Atiku,
Because of our time.
yes, I will advise that Atiku go for his vice president in the east, southeast. Because if he should go elsewhere to pick his presidential candidate, I mean vice president, now it will create a kind of wasted votes, wasted presidential votes, because Obi is from the, I think it's from the east. Obi will not be able to control, I mean, to garner votes that will, catapult him to presidency.
Okay.
But he will just be a spoiler in that region.
Okay. Yeah. Dear viewers, we have exhausted the first topic, though it took more time than it deserves. But be that as it may, we have exhausted that topic. We'll go to the other one. Electoral materials. INEC solicit Nigeria Air Force support for airlift. Very recently, the governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Emefiele, came out to say he wanted to be president under the platform of the All Progressive Congress. That led to a lot of arguments. And today, we know he's a member of the APC, and INEC say they don't have confidence in him. What again? How do you see that playing out now?
I think, excuse me, the topic, INEC soliciting the support of Nigeria Air Force,
yes,
in the airlift. But
before now, it used to be in the custody of the Central Bank of Nigeria.
No, I think
INEC says it will no longer be in their custody.
No, they are not keeping. We are not talking about keeping.
No, they are not more keeping it with the CBN.
Yes,
for that purpose.
They are not keeping it with NAV. I think what we are saying now has to do with the fact that if where
they are going to keep it is shrouded in mystery.
We don't know. But in the case you are bringing up now, it's not part of what we are to discuss. But if we are to talk about INEC not keeping their materials with CBN, I think
that from the background for
I think that is far-fetched, because nobody will have thought that Emefiele will be interested in the position of the president of Nigeria. But he has that right, inalienable right, any political office, even though he's already a governor, but a governor of Central Bank. Yes, he's a governor.
Governor of Central Bank.
That is a career position.
No, just don't. He's a governor. Whether you like it or not.
Don't let our time be wasted.
Excuse me. Whether we like it or not, he's a governor. So if we're not talking about which state, we're now talking about Central Bank of Nigeria.
Okay, that is it is a big constituency.
Yeah, exactly. but because of the fact that CBN is a very sensitive, strategic, and highly important institution, agency of the government. You see, he's coming out to vie or to he's showing interest in presidency or presidential ticket, as case may be. I think it's being a dent on CBN. It's been more of a dent on CBN, at least as far as politics is concerned in Nigeria today. But be that as it may, the assistance being sought by INEC for the airlift of
election materials,
yes, as far as Ekiti's governorship election is concerned, coming up on the 18th of
they are starting from that.
Yes, they will need the assistance of Nigeria Air Force to airlift, and they believe there's much hope, much belief in Nigeria Air Force, because it is seen as a neutral organization, institution that will assist INEC in delivering a credible, free and fair election. And I want to pitch my tent with INEC for doing that. And INEC said, in the course of the assistance being forthcoming from NAV, the internal Distribution of materials will be undertaken by the body. I don't know how it will, but I know that there will be logistical support that INEC will have provided. I go for it. I support the idea of engaging Nigerian Air Force in airlifting electoral materials.
Do you also support or you oppose it? And if you do, what are the reasons? Just 2 minutes.
Nigeria Air Force. Who else would INEC should have relied upon? Since the central bank is no more a safe ground for keeping of INEC materials. But in terms of transportation now, when we are talking of transportation proper, there is no other agency or there is no any other institution that will assist the INEC in moving the various types of electoral materials down to the electorates. I support it. And I know that let me say one will not be too optimistic in saying that Air Force would like to protect their integrity, because military is always seen as a body, with honor, body to be trusted, even in their normal engagements. People have that respect for the military that once they are saddled with a particular responsibility, they will deliver. And I think they will uphold that people's faith.
Okay, before you go to Latif, I just want to chip in this. When you consider the security situation in the country, you definitely want to go for the Nigerian Air Force. There are so many volatile areas now, so many insecure areas, and the engagement of Nigerian Air Force will go a long way in offering protection, in offering the much needed security to ensure that the election is delivered.
Latif Angola.
Well, let me start with
where do you start?
With Godwin Emefiele. We have 1,000,001 Emefieles in our system. That is the fact we need to take note of. If eventually this guy, Rotimi Amechi, the former governor of Rivers State and ex-minister for transport, had won this contest, the primary of APC, the person who have taken as his running mate, barring any last-minute change, is the immediate past chief of army staff, General Tuko Burate. Burate is today a card-carrying member of the ruling APC. So he said, you now ask, how long has he been with APC in spirit? And Nigerians, we need to ask, is it about patriotism, about service to the nation, or loyalty to the powers that be? All this need to be taken to the consideration. So I agree, there is no way we can transport this kind of sensitive material without the assistance of Nigerian Air Force. But Nigerians in sensitive positions need to be more patriotic to the nation than their personal interest or the powers that be. And that is just my own submission.
Thank you very much. We go to the next topic, which is the last one for that matter. It's a question. Attackers of St. Francis Catholic Church arrested. About last Sunday was a black Sunday in the history of this country because of an unprecedented killing of worshippers in a church in the southwest area of Nigeria. We have had it in the north. It has happened in the northwest, isn't it? But in the southwest area, it has never happened like that. And when it happened, people were very, very surprised that why would something like this happen at this material time. And now, it happened, it occurred on Sunday, and today, or yesterday, speculations were rife as to the arrest of those who allegedly perpetrated the act. Meanwhile, yesterday, after the National Security Council meeting, the Minister of Interior, Rauf Aregbesola, came to address the journalists and told them that ISWAP has been fingered as the perpetrator of the act. Let me start from Lateef Agbola this time. The attack and killing of massacres at War is still generating a lot of furor along ethnic, religious, political circles in Nigeria. When you heard about it, what was in your mind?
Well, the fact remains that our people, I use our people, I'm talking about our leaders in the Southwest. They were not too proactive, if I may use that word. If you recall, the Southwest security network, Amotekun, was created for this purpose. But along the line, we are no more seeing that synergy between the states of the Southwest. In fact, Lagos State did not and does not key into the Amotekun idea. He believes he has the neighborhood police already. So, and some other states too are running it as a state affair. That's number one thing. Another factor to be considered again is their ability to act on available information. Governor Rotimi Akeredolu confirmed that those who had been arrested before now had confessed that majority of these terrorists are from Mali and Chad Republic. So, and immediately this thing happened, the governor told the media that he didn't suspect anybody from Nigeria, but from the outside. Even if those who attacked Ondo were from Nigeria, merely saying it by the governor, then something has changed. That's it. Then, if you recall, lastly, after the security meeting at the Aso Rock, the federal government told the media that those who attacked our Catholic Church are ISWAP terrorists. So all this, okay, if they are ISWAP terrorists, then what are we doing? That means we have had information about these people before now. What are we doing to wait until now when it happened and we are talking about this one? That's number one. Number two is that we should try as much as possible to run away from fake news. That should be my last submission about before you go to other discussants. Because I watched a video yesterday, though he spoke in a Ondo dialect. The Olowo of Owo said they had arrested some guys, but the police headquarters said nobody had been arrested. So the question here is that who arrested them? Was it the Amotekun? Was it the Ondo State Police Command? Was it the vigilante? Was it the military? So we don't know. But the reality of the matter is that we have security problem around us, and we need to tackle it headlong. That's my submission.
Bukola, the arrest, the news of the arrest is getting spread all over Nigeria, and people are already looking forward to having more news about the arrest. But if they are being arrested, and if not, what is your advice for the people of the Southwest now?
You see, we have been saying all these things, every now and then, that there is need for the government itself is not security conscious. Now, security conscious in the sense that though institutions and agencies, have been put in place, but the question is, are these institutions, do they have required materials, equipment that will make them function, optimally for the security challenges that we have in the country today?
But also when the police command was said they don't have patrol vehicles to run after the
You see, when the criminals themselves, they do study the environment where they are going to operate. And the people like ISWAP, or what they call the members of ISWAP, They are not just any criminal. They are criminal with intent. That is, they have their vision, they have their goal, and they always have their targets. And before they go for operation, they will have, critically study the environment, put the environment in surveillance before they strike. The criminals normally, capitalize on the negligence of the people, or where they will perpetrate the crime. So that is what is happening now in Nigeria. When I heard Governor Akeredolu saying that these people came from Mali, and now, when they came from Mali, it was the first time these people were approached after leaving Mali. Is the first time after Mali. Why is it that St. Francis Catholic Church be the place that they chose to operate? Why didn't these people go to the marketplace if they want to attack people in their multitude? Are you getting what I'm saying? Why the church? Why did they choose Sunday? It means that, and if the government was in the know of where these people came from, what is the government doing? Why did the government wait till these people, struck before now looking for ways of, of getting them, arrested? So, Nigerian government, I'm very sorry to be saying this. Nigerian government, is so every tier of government in Nigeria is so lackadaisical as far as the security of lives and people are concerned. So in view of this, I will just advise people that, look, be security conscious. But that one will not solve the problem, because even if you are security conscious, if you have the inkling of a particular impending security breach, who will you report to? You will report to the police. How effective is the police?
They may not even have patrol vehicles.
We have a lot of security. We have a lot of sources through which security agents could tap information. One of those sources is open intelligence. But how effective is the Nigerian police in sourcing for security information? That is it. Okay. But I will advise that Nigerian government should consider this period as a time that bloodletting should be ceased. Are you getting it?
Oh, yeah.
Let government review this issue of individual having a protective gun. If individual have access to his own gun, or if individual could be in possession of his own gun, of his protective gun, a person that is coming to attack him will know that he too take the responsibility of meeting force with force.
Okay, thank you very much. Muideen Adeleke, you are going to speak now on this topic. If truly these people have been arrested, what should we expect?
The first thing we have to know as journalists is that the report of the arrest of the perpetrators of the heinous acts
It's still sketchy.
It is fake. That was fake. Even the KBAC has come out to debunk it. The Nigerian police did not subscribe to it. So what are we saying? We shouldn't be part of those that will subscribe to such fake news, because there is no any altar of truth in that particular news. And that goes without saying. that the era of social media, though is good, but that is the other side of our belief in social media reports. The traditional media will not fumble to that extent. I don't know. Our station here will not come up with any story that has not been confirmed, verified, and substantiated. We will have done our homework before we come up with any news item. And the print also, even though the print carries retraction, but if you continually carry retraction, you are more or less bringing down your credibility as a medium of information dissemination and what have you, a media organization.
Yeah.
So I want to believe that we should not subscribe to the report that the perpetrators, the attackers at St. Francis Catholic Church, Owo, have been nabbed, have been arrested, because none of the credible organizations, institutions who are supposed to be in the know has come out to substantiate the report. So it is fake news, and I don't like talking about anything fake.
Yes, gentlemen, I want to sincerely thank you for coming on the program in the newsroom for today. We have been able to discuss 3 big topics. 2023 presidential PDP search for running mate tickets, electoral materials, and solicit now support for airlift, and attackers of St. Francis Catholic Church were arrested. And I want to thank the trial of Muideen Dadeleke Adeboye Popola.
Thank you.
And Latif Agbola for doing justice to the topic under discussion this afternoon. Special thanks to the producer of the program, Oladayo Oladepeku, and the executive producer of the program, Akeola Owolabi. Babatunde Bolatito is my name. See you next week.
Mondays through Fridays, 3:30 to 4:30 p.m. in the newsroom. You can't afford to miss it.
Who colonized Nigeria? No idea.
I'ma give you one big dirty slap.
Jesus is Lord.
Who colonized Nigeria?
We.
Who colonized Nigeria? Mado.
I'm going to discipline you so that you become disciplined. You get me?
So if goat eats back of yam, peels of yam, and drink water, dog eats bone and drink water, what do plants eat?
Yams.
Plants, what do they eat?
Yam now.
What did you say?
Yam. Plants eat yam.
Oh my God.
Thank you for your time. Goat eats back peels of yam and drink water. Dog eats bone and drink water. What do plants eat?
Plants eat.
Go and ask your grandfather.
They make use of oxygen now.
Oxygen.
You are a disappointment.
So yeah, like we see now, goats eat peel of yam, peel of cassava, and drink water. Dog eats their indomie and meat, bones specifically. So what do you think plants eat?
Plants. I think it's normal natural resources.
They eat normal natural resources. Okay. If goat eats peel of yam and cassava, what do plants eat?
What?
Plants. What do they eat?
Plants.
Yes.
Water.
Oh, what we did?